Welcome to clue number 1. In clue number 1, we're going to do rounds number 1 through 3. You're going to do all your motifs at the same time. I'm recommending that whenever you do these kind of ideas, when you go to start, you're going to complete all of round number 1 for each one of your motifs, and then come back and do round number 2 and then round number 3. So in today's clue, it's round number 1 through 3. Do all of your motifs and then join me back here and we'll begin round number 4 through 7 next time. So let's begin rounds number 1 through 3. So let's get going on the boho ornament Afghan. So this is a design by me. I actually developed it about 3 years ago, and I moved all the way to Nova Scotia and I pulled it out and I rejigged it 2 more times in order to really get it to be extra special. So the original design was a little more complex, took a little bit more time than I prefer, so I simplified some of the steps without losing much of the texture. So what you have to decide right off the bat is how many of these motifs that you're going to make. In this configuration, the original, the way I did it, looks like this when you have everything out. So let me just back out the camera a little bit more, and so this is what it will look like, and you can see that you have 6 along the top, and then there's 5 and 6 and 5 and 6 and all the way down. So I decided that I wasn't gonna cheapen out and make a smaller size Afghan. I wanted to make it a bit bigger. So if you were going to subtract anything out, just make sure that you're just ending it right. So if you only want this instead, or maybe if you just want that, it's completely up to you. Your creativity, you can do what most suits you. So during the actual production of making this pattern, I actually put it together in a different format, and I wish I would have kind of done it this way instead in retrospect, but things you always learn, hindsight is 20/20. So this one here, it requires a different amount of motifs, but not very much different. To make this one as per the pattern, this is 50 motifs, this is 52. So what you're doing is see that you got 6 up here, you've eliminated 2 on either side and kind of shift them out so it makes the interior look more bulging. So you have to determine how many motifs that you're going to do. Next thing that you have to do is determine your colors. Let's talk about that. The entire Afghan is completely random, absolutely completely random, except for 3 spots in each motif in order to keep it consistent. Do you notice? So let's talk about color. As I told you, the center matches the round number 9. So it's the same color, and when you look at it, it's consistent. The other color that's consistent is white. White is in round number 8, and they're in all of them at number 8. When you do scrap gans, even though it can be erratic, which this one is, I had some consistency, which was the middle one, the outside one, and this white, and everything else in between was erratic. So my goal is that I was never gonna repeat a color twice that is existing between this area and this area. So all of these are completely unique all throughout the whole thing. The more colors that you play with, the more motif options that you have, and obviously the less colors that you choose, you'll probably have repeats. Now during photography, this is what I created here, and you're gonna see that right here. So you can see it's a little bit of a different color. So I did a total of 4 of these exactly the same, and when you see the other sheet, when I had them all together in the configuration layout, you can see that this was this. So I can foresee that some people would prefer all of their motifs to be the same color as well. So we're gonna leave that choice up to you, and the yarn choice, I'm suggesting Karen 1 pound, but you can also make a choice that matches your lifestyle too. So to begin, I'm gonna recommend a 6.5 millimeter size K crochet hook and Karen 1 pound yarn. You can choose any yarn that matches your lifestyle, and it doesn't even have to be a worsted yarn. It could be something completely different. Just make sure that the hook complements the yarn. So you're going to notice that we're going to go in complete circles. Now the thing about it is that I'm not putting this crochet along so that it's a lot of spaces in between as far as time. So what I found with myself is that if you can crochet so much faster if you work in sections like an assembly line. Think about assembling a cars. Not one person assembles the car, it's a group of people, and it works down the line. So what I strongly suggest to you is do all of your number of motifs all in the round 1, and then put it aside, and then start round number 2 on all of them as well. And you want to make sure that you're mixing your colors in between in order to make things work. So what I would recommend is work yourself in an assembly line format, and you'll find that this will move a lot faster and you'll get this done. And if you're on a target for Christmas, you'll probably get it done quicker too. And finally, in clue number 1, we have only 3 rounds to do, but you have to times that by the number of motifs that you're going to do. So whether it's 50, 52, or if you decided to make your own configuration, just make them the number of motifs that you're going to need before progressing then even further. So what I would strongly recommend, as I mentioned, is do all of round 1 for all your entire motifs, and then come back and do all of round 2, and then come back and do all of round 3. Therefore you don't need to pull up this sheet of paper because you'll get it into your mind on memory and being able to crochet so much faster. So this will be available in the more information of this video as well. So without further ado, you're going to need a tapestry needle for sure. In order to play with this particular project, you're going to want to weave in your ends and get those in. Now some of them I buried the yarns underneath the stitch work like you technically would, but I did throw it through a washer to block it at the end just for my own personal preferences. Anything that really is not secured enough though will pop out, so you want to make sure that you're taking care of your loose ends as you go. So without further ado, you think you're ready? Well, I'm ready. Let's get going. So let's begin round number 1. We're going to chain 4 to start and slip stitch it to make a ring, and then we're going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet. We're then going to double crochet 6 more. So with this one plus the 6 gives you the number of 7, and then you're going to do 3 trebles and then 7 and then finish off with 3 trebles and then join it back. So it's really quite an easy one to be able to remember. So when I'm gonna count here and I'm gonna say this is chain 3 counts as a double crochet, I'm gonna say that's 1 and then 2 and so on. So it just makes it easier to remember. So I'm gonna start off with green and I'm gonna revisit this color on the end of round number 9. Again, the color formats are completely up to you. Let's chain 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and slip stitch it to this beginning chain and pull through to form the ring, and there is the center ring of your motif. So let's begin round number 1. Chain up 3 counts as a double crochet, so count that and just say to yourself that's 1, and I want you to double crochet 6 more times. So let's go to the next one, double crochet right into the ring, and let's say that's 2 and continue. 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So the chain 3 and the 6 double crochets, that gives you a total of 7. I would just quickly double count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The next 3 are trebles. So this is what's gonna create it to be like the oblong shape that you're needing. So wrap the hook twice and treble 3 times into the ring. So 1, wrap it again twice. This is 2 and 3. So that's officially one side of your ornament done. You can see that it's kind of lobbing out, which is what you want, and now you're gonna come back into the ring and do 7 double crochets. So let's count those out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And if you're running out of space, just move it, just kind of pull on it and put 3 more trebles into the center ring. There's a lot going on in that ring. So 1, another treble for 2, and 3. So just pull it around if you need to, and then just slip stitch it nicely to the beginning chain 3. And I want you to pull this through and through, and there is the center of your ornament. What I want you to do now is cut your yarn, and let's do that. And we're gonna pull through, lock it, and what I would strongly recommend at this point, just take this yarn strand. It only takes a few seconds, so don't think that it's gonna scare you, and just put it through the back side 3 times. So once, and when you pull through it, don't pull so that it's gonna warp it. So 2 and 3, and then you can safely cut your yarn strand. If you went over top of the beginning one, then you can just safely cut it, but if you didn't, just weave that in as well. So let's continue then into round number 2. So let's talk about round number 2. We're going to start off with chaining a 3. Watch how I join it though, because it's abnormal, and the reason why I'm doing it in the way that I'm about to show you is that it will look very obvious if you do it conventionally. So I'll be showing you that. Each one of these, there's 2 back post double crochets in them. So that will give you a total of 20 of them, and there's an easy way to count to make sure that you get that at the end. So here's what we have so far. Okay, you'll notice that it looks a little bit weird right now, but that will settle out in time, and again you pretty much don't even notice that on the blanket or on the Afghan either. So let's begin number 2. Now I'm gonna suggest that you get all number 1 done first before moving to number 2, but this is your story. Write it any way that you wish. So let's begin round number 2. Watch how I join this. I am not going to create a slip knot. I repeat that, I am not gonna create a slip knot. What I want you to do is that I want you from the back side right here, and I want you just get that first chain 3, just go up and in and toward the back. Okay, so you're just in behind, so that's gonna be a back post, so just coming in the front and get that chain 3 so that it's around the hook. Then just grab this yarn and pull through and let the straggler just fall out of the way. You're going to use a tapestry needle in to secure that. The reason why you're doing that is that this will look consistent as being a regular stitch. And now I want you to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. Going in the back post only, I want you in that same post go in the back. So just out from the back and then stay towards the back side and just double crochet. So back post double crochet. And so each one of these posts will have 2 back post double crochet. So wrap the hook coming in and out and double crochet as normal. So in and out. In time you get used to that motion, so you just go immediately to the next one. What I strongly recommend that you do is once in a while, before you get too far, just take a peek at the front, and I'm gonna show you a mistake that you could run into. So you can see that I'm grabbing each one of these posts properly. It is very possible I'm gonna do it in air, so, and I've done this which I've had to frog out. So I come in from the outside and I go back, but watch, I'm going to accidentally separate one of the strands that is in the posts, and I'm gonna back post double crochet, and look what happens. So you don't grab the whole post. So you wanna make sure that you're grabbing each one of the posts fully. So I want you all the way around, just 2 back post double crochets around in each, and then I'm gonna show you easy way to double count and check without really having to do too much work. So you wanna verify that at the end. So please do 2 back post double crochets around each. So I'm coming all the way back around. I've actually technically done. So what I want to do is that I want to keep an eye and count these so that it's a total of 20 sets of 2, and that's a total which gives you 40. So what I do is that I look for what is consistent. So I say this is 1. See how this is jumping up? That's 2. Jumping up as 3 because there's 1 right beside it. So let me restart. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So if you can just count quickly like that, it just makes a lot of sense. And then I want you to join it to the first chain 3 that you started with, and then just pull up a loop through and then get rid of that loose end. So when you turn it over, you want to take care of this one here because that's just sitting in there, right? So let's just trim our yarn and just pull this through. So what you have to do, this one here is just resting in there because there was no knot applied. So you can either wait till the end or you can just do it now, which I would strongly recommend you do it as you go. It's just easier. And then just come in and just tap it back into the blue. Okay, don't even touch that green. So just go through once, and again don't pull on it so it's gonna warp it. So just once through a different path, twice, and finally a third time is a charm. Get rid of that, and then I want to get rid of the other loose end in there as well. If you have better ways, of course I want you to exercise your own creativity and just put the other one in. And then just hide that one in as well. So once and twice. I don't have a fear of hiding in loose ends, and 3 times because it means that you were done the step. And it only takes you a few minutes as well, like a moment or 2. I think it takes me about a minute and a half. And then just trim it right down to the project, and then you're good to go for round number 3, which will be the conclusion, and just kind of shape it a bit, and you can see it looks like an oval. So let's begin round number 3. So let's get into final round number 3 for today's tutorial, and number 3 is going to start off exactly how you did and joined number 2. It's going to go into the back post of this one here. Doesn't look like it's going to, but in this diagram, but that's what the instructions are. And then the next one is in the front post. So you're not actually increasing any stitches, you're using what you know. So it's back, front, back post, front, back, front, all the way around, and then therefore it's going to expand beautifully. So let's get started for round number 3. So let's begin round number 3. Just leave an extra long tail, and then I want you to come into the chain 3 of where you started the last round. So just coming from the back and out to the back, grab the loop, pull through, let the straggler fall to the back, and then just chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3. That is your first back post double crochet. Now around the next post it's going to be front post, so just wrap the hook coming from the side and back out the other side, and then the next one, this one, is going to be in the back post. So just wrap it and come from the back and stay towards the back. So that's all this round is. So the next one is a front post, and the next one is a back post, and so on. So please do that all the way around for round number 3. When I come back all the way around, the last one will be a front post double crochet, because the first one that we had was a back post double crochet. So I know that I'm ending properly. So you can either double count, and you can just count the ones that are in the front. There should be a total of 20 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Once you're satisfied with that, please just then slip stitch to the first chain 3. Pull things nice and tight, and what I want you to do, I've already shown you how to weave in your ends, so I'm not gonna show you that again. So I'm just gonna cut my yarn, and I need you then to secure in your loose ends, and then especially that one that you started off with, because it's just suspended in there, just make sure that it goes up through the yellow. So then that's gonna be it for today. So I need you to get all of your motifs done to this point up to round number 3, and then next video we're gonna start doing more of the fun stuff. So let's begin, and let's say that's it for today, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.